Hey, what's up, peeps? DJ Panras in the house. With just a sit and chat, chill and chat, however you want to call it, just laying down thinking. Man, let me tell you. Despite DJing, I'm also into astrology. I get into it from time to time, and I'm not an expert in terms of astrology, but certain things that I know or I am knowledgeable, sorry, about, I tend to use that into putting things into perspective. So I was watching a video on basically on compatibility and using your natal chart to find out um, if someone is for you or not, right? And I mean, with my, I think I've been deep into astrology for about 10 years. I've been trying to really get into uncovering certain things. But I'm not just really all about astrology. Like, on the contrary, I just feel like, to me, knowing someone and getting to know someone is truly about their personality, how they were raised, how they grew up, um, morals, upbringing, um, all of these things, respect, these type of things. I think determine whether you and somebody can be compatible. So, for instance, like you can meet anyone. I'm not saying that. I'm not discrediting natal charts or birth charts, if you want to say it that way, right? I'm not discrediting that because it comes to a point where some people are good at assessing compatibility based on a birth chart or a natal chart, right? While others be like, okay, maybe you may know the knowledge. Like me, I may know a lot of the knowledge of the natal chart and birth chart and know what aspects, determine whether you're compatible with someone based on maybe your Mars and your Sun, conjuncting and all these different types of aspects. I'm not gonna get into. All right, but this video is just strictly just explaining my point of view of it. Right. So yeah, I strongly believe like it all goes back to, like I said, morals, values, how you were raised, how you were brought up, certain things that maybe when you meet the person or when you meet someone, you find that, well, you can develop a business with that individual, or for instance, a business with that individual, or whether you can this person can be a good mother or father to your child. You see yourself being in a long-term relationship with that person. That's another aspect of it. um Maybe you and that person have a lot of mutual interests in, in terms of maybe music or maybe your job, what you do, you know um your day-to-day activities. Maybe that's somebody who can help you a lot. And of course astrology determines that as well. But for me, I've been like studying it for the longest, like I said, and certain things become very complicated for me to understand. Not saying I'm shooting it down and saying I'm not finna just sit down and learn what I need to know. But a lot of what I'm learning, it's like I rethink and I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, like, yeah, like it all goes back to knowing someone for who they are. Especially with the changing times as well. Times have changed a lot. A lot of things have changed in the world as well. And someone's judgment can be clouded by trying to understand all these different perspectives, astrological perspectives, with the world, the times, um, and combining that with compatibility, even with yourself, with your own chart, your own natal chart. It becomes a little cloudy, and it can be very confusing too as well. Well, I know for me, personal perspective. um for others, like, it may be where, well, boy, everything they do is, all right, let me assess how the world is changing, how these planets are rearranging themselves. Maybe what you call it, a solar return and all these things. I mean, even if numerology is the same thing, people are like really clown on this thing, man. Like they really like can pinpoint what is what and how it's happening, and they study the plans, they go up and down and studying this and that and that, they put it together. I don't know. Just for me, like I'm very simple. Like I just like to basically sit back and assess a person and who they are for what they are and all these things. I think that's the most important thing, right? There's some people, even thinking further that you may end up getting into marriage with that individual, and it becomes a thing where that person may die. That person, you may find that that's something that you don't like about them, something that's incompatible with the two of you guys. It may be where you have a child now, things change. When you get married, things change. That's on the negative side, right? Um, and you know, certain balances that you had when you first met this person are changing over the years. There's some people who married for 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden, boy, this relationship is just going downhill. Everything was perfect with the first 25 years, maybe from 25 to 30, things started going sour. You understand? So, I mean, it is what it is. You can be, I mean, what they say, Solomon had how many wives? And still he was the wisest man. And I, and things still went wrong with Solomon. You understand? So it's rough, man. Because I think in this world today, like Warrior King says, if you don't know who Warrior King is, he has a song called Virtuous Woman. Right? That's from a man's perspective of a woman. He said, no real man cannot live without a woman, right? Which is true. Okay. And I think the opposite goes vice versa. A woman cannot live without a man. Okay. And I think because of those things, it is safe to say that, you know, the number one way of knowing whether you and someone are compatible is strictly through just knowing who that person is. That's it. Simple. That's just my take on it. Yeah, I think the birth chart things help too. You know what? It does. And I think, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I think it brings a bit of bad luck as well. To me, in my point of view, it may bring some level of bad luck in a way to find. I don't know. It's just I'm speaking from my perspective. Like I said, it doesn't have to pertain to everybody in the world, right? But I find with me, always knowing someone's natal chart, it always brings bad luck to where, you and that person never end up like maybe lasting, and it could be something that you and that person had that was so much in common that never really materialized to the where you wanted it to be. It was going so well. You saw it in the beginning of, how compatible you guys were, going further and further and further, and you stacked up your hopes and opportunities, or what, like they say, you put your eggs in one basket, and then all of a sudden everything just goes down the hill, and you were like, wow, what happened here? Right? So, with that being said, I really do appreciate just knowing people for who they are. And it all depends on your personality. I mean, you may be a study of astrology and natal charts, and you might be a guru at doing that, right? But then again, even in your life, things can go wrong. Not say, I know this seems like I'm just being laying on the negative side of things, but I'm just saying, like, I'm saying it in a way to say that if all goes wrong, what do you depend on? You depend on just knowing someone for who they are and being able to assess a person, because we have faults, we all have faults. Like I said, if you're a guru, you have faults too in you. There's certain things that maybe you can't make up for. That's why I think they say opposites attract. You might find I might be a Libra, somebody else might be an Aries. There might be certain things that Aries can bring to the table that I cannot give to them, and vice versa. So you just never know, like, where it may lie and stuff. That's why I say it might be bad luck too, even looking up someone's chart. For me, some bad luck lies around that area of finding out things. And I mean, it is what it is. We're not perfect. There's a God in the sky. I believe in God. 100%. But I just believe in the faith that, I believe in the foundation faith. That's why I watch and I listen to a lot of like, just spiritually awakening things, that a lot of truths, a lot of things that go back to the beginnings, like, especially in music. I guess that's why I'm a DJ and I really appreciate, I'm a music appreciator, because I listen to music and I always reference lyrics and certain things that existed. And yeah, oh yeah, here's a perfect example as to what I just said. You might have somebody who has the perfect lyrics to a song that you love and that just fits you and that person together. And that person who's singing that song may not be the a perfect person. That person who's singing that song may not be perfect. It might be that person have faults too. It might be the producer or the writer of the song might have faults in them too. I like a lot of Celine Dion songs. I like a lot of her writing and other artists, a lot of others, but she just popped up in my mind. And it comes to a point where you like her music, but you just don't know what exists in her life. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people look up to celebrities, and you don't know the certain things that they go through, or maybe you find out later on that something happened, and you know it is what it is, man. So I thank you guys for listening, and I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna leave you all at that, and if whatever you guys think, I'd like to know your thoughts on what I just mentioned, everything I said. What do you believe in? What is your criteria for finding out or getting to know someone for who they are, what they're about, the whole nine yards. Tell me, what is your thing? How do you get to know somebody? If you're married, let me know how you guys, or you and your husband, you and your wife, how did you guys meet? How did it work out for you? How did the relationships work out for you? All right, and tell me if you study astrology. Let me know what aspects do you think that play a good role in meeting someone, and etc etc etc. All right, so this is DJ Panras. If you want, you guys, check out my mixes on SoundCloud, whatever genre of music you like, whatever style of music. um I have a lot of mixes out on SoundCloud, as well as YouTube as well. Check it out, support, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next side. All right, later.